Hi everyone, Yuni here. So today I want to go ahead and continue with my Steven Universe the movie obsession. Last week we drew Steven, Connie, and Lion, and this week I drew Garnet and also Ruby and Sapphire, of course. So let's go ahead and look at what the drawing process looks like, okay? So first I used my little model as a reference, so I posted him on this position, and then I went ahead and copied the pose to get my better symmetry and proportions right. Then as I was drawing using a reference, I decided to draw up also a Garnet reference, because that way it will make it easier for me to just look at the character side by side as I drew it. Even though I'm drawing on my own style, I have to respect somewhat the style of the original character, otherwise it won't look like it. So I love Garnet since the beginning, even before I knew that she was a fusion. And when that happened, and when that dropped in the jailbreak episode, it just blew my mind. It was an amazing reveal, and I hope that everybody that watches the show from episode 1 gets as surprised as I was, because I didn't see it coming at all. I don't think anybody would have, except for her having the two gems in her hands. That would be the only clue, but we really didn't know that they could fuse or anything. So here, I think the biggest change that I did was give her more of a like an afro, like do the curly hair more like more curly than like the shape square that she has, and I made the star bigger. The star is likely a reference to Gurren Lagann, so I went ahead and made it as big as in that show, because in Gurren Lagann the glasses get huge at some point towards the end. So I kind of wanted to make it bigger on my design, and the fist I wanted to also make them bigger and more exaggerated, because I love that aspect of her, the big fist. And I kept pretty much everything else the same. And the shoulder pads I made it more like armor, more like metallic armor. Same with the top, it's meant to be more like armor, and then the bottom part with the little fleece or like a little skirt. I left kind of like so it's like cloth. And I love doing the shading right here on the legs. It was like it's just simple and it went to the point, but I kind of lose it later when I add the color, so it barely shows. So then with the coloring, I just pretty much just copy it from the original character. You know, I didn't want to make any changes as far as that, because I wanted it to be as recognizable as possible. I had a lot of fun doing the eyes, and I did change the orientation of the middle eye, like the mind's eye, if you will. I don't like it horizontal, basically. When it's a third eye like that, I always draw them like a vertical. It's just a preference of mine. So yes, when Sapphire shows up, she's gonna have a vertical mono eye, or Cyclops, I guess. And what I'm doing here is doing all her values in gray, and then I'm gonna overlay the colors over it. But it didn't work as well as I would have loved. So I just kind of like just did the shading in color. I should have maybe used more values so that they would show more. But when I did the overlay, it was too light, too bright. So I did it twice, one with a layer of color multiply and another layer on overlay. So I get the more lovely the flat bright color the original character has. Here I'm just see how it is kind of like too light right now. So I went ahead and added another layer of color and multiply, so I could get more bright the colors. And then I kind of lost the shading on the legs a little bit, but then I added a brightness to them. And then I'm gonna go ahead and start with Sapphire. And if you notice, Garnet, she's in the Shoryuken pose from Street Fighter. So because I had it on that pose, I wanted to go ahead and do Sapphire and Ruby also on a Street Fighter pose. So Ruby is doing a Hadoken. That's why I know that she doesn't have those kind of powers in the show, or at least not that we've seen anyway. But in my drawing, she's doing a Hadoken. Okay. Just that's what I'm doing. Um, and I wanted to go ahead and make her hair a lot more furry, more furry. What are words? What are words? Um, so I made it more fine, I guess, and less curly, and more detailed. And as you see, I did the eye like vertical instead of horizontal. I don't know. I just in my head it looks better, so that's why I did that. Um, I really like her personality. She's cold and detached and logical, and at times she doesn't realize what her own feelings are. Like when her and Ruby almost break up, and she freezes everything around her. That was a great episode. And her colors I of course kept the same, and this time I didn't bother with the overlay process. I just did the coloring on the color, like all the shading. I did it with color, just painting with color instead of doing the overlay process, because I realized that it was just like one extra step that I was taking for no reason. Because unless you do it like perfectly, it doesn't work all the time. So that's why I'm here and just doing all the shading with the actual color. And I'm doing all of this on the Procreate app on my iPad Pro. And it took me like a day or 2 days, you know, taking breaks and you know, just doing life stuff. Went to a pinball arcade, so I left it halfway, and then I came back to finish Ruby and Sapphire. Okay, so anyway, so as you see here, I'm just adding highlights of the color to give it a little more depth, more roundness, more fabric texture. You see how I did some folds on the bottom part of the dress, and I'm adding more highlights to the hair and the eyes, and I'm doing now the Hadoken. The energy ball was giving me trouble, and then I finally figured out, and then that was it. So now I'm gonna move on to Ruby. Ruby with a little, she's a little pushy and headstrong and kind of angry, but loyal to a fault. So I'm having her do the Tatsumaki Hurricane kick. Don't ask me how to say the rest of the Tatsumaki word, because I don't know it. So I don't know if you can tell, but I love Street Fighter, so that's why I'm doing this. Like the Shoryuken, Hadoken, and Tatsumaki whirlwind kick. And yeah. So I like how her face turned out here on my drawing, because usually you don't even see her eye color. So I assumed that because she's a ruby, her eyes will be red like a ruby's. So I did red eyes. And on the line work, I made her hair a lot more loose, more flowy, versus her like kind of in place hair that she has. And let's see what else. So here the same thing. I just went ahead and sampled the color from the character, and then I did the shading with the color. I didn't do the overlay process that I usually do. For me, it just felt like this was faster, and I wanted to finish this so I could put it up on my TeePublic and my Redbubble, so I could do maybe sell some of this on t-shirts. And the link for that is below, since we're here. And that was a nice introduction to that. So yeah, and as you see here, I'm almost done. I'm adding more depth with color to the t-shirt. I'm doing some furls and folds, and yeah, Ruby doing the Tatsumaki kick. And I actually really enjoy how she turned out. And here's all two of them. And I added some more details to Garnet also, with some more highlights. So this is my version of Garnet, my version of Ruby, and my version of Sapphire, and they're all doing Street Fighter poses because why not? I hope you like these designs. If you want to get them in t-shirts or other products, my link's going to be there here. They're on my TeePublic and also on my Redbubble. And the reason that inspired this, what inspired this, other than I love the show, is the Redbubble asks for me to do more designs. I guess they're asking everybody that does the fan art on their space. So I went ahead and did all the designs. I want to move on to Pearl and Amethyst, and then maybe do my favorite fusion, which is Sunstone, and I probably also will do Stag at some point, because why wouldn't I? And I mean Stag. Daddy issues. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be it for this video. If you'd like to help me out with my channel, please like, comment. It helps with algorithm. I posted the drawing of Garnet on my Instagram today, and last night, and it's been blowing up. It's almost at 1,000 likes, and I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's a lot for my Instagram following. And this is my link right here, segue. But yeah, it will help a lot if you could share this with your friends or just like it and comment. And if you like to support my channel, just go ahead and purchase more of the t-shirts there. And that's it. Let me know what you think, and bye for now. You can make a difference. You can make it right. You can make it better. We don't have to fight.